All right, everyone who doesn't know AutoCAD very well, let's get you started on something. So I've given you this file in D2 in Teams called Parking O2. Check it out. It's got some pretty good stuff. So it's got our layers and stuff set up. So this should take maybe 10 minutes or so, but I'll try and give you a bit of an overview. Sorry you don't know AutoCAD very well. It's important to know it. Yeah, let's get started. So I've drawn it's just an empty file. I had an old file here that you can see. This is a cooking show. I've got my finished excuse me, I got my finished food over here, which we'll kind of start to play with. I also have my bylaw open in the bottom, so there's my bylaw. So I'm going to draw my lot. When we draw lines, you can use the line command. I know that my lot is 50 feet wide. Hit enter, and then I think it's 125 feet long. Whatever it is in meters, take it in meters, convert it, and then you just draw those lines. To get your lines to draw straight, you can do the F8 key, touch F8, and it'll draw on an angle or draw random, touch F8 and it'll draw straight. It'll only draw in straight lines. That's turning your ortho on and off. If you watch down here, F8, I'm not touching that button, F8 just turns that on and off. So that's called your ortho button. You can also maybe have a button on called polar tracking, which kind of tracks, it'll snap to like angles like that, and it'll snap to this angle and snap to that angle. So I'll give you this file and you can do a bunch of this stuff. So this first line I drew here is 50 feet. To get this box to pop up, it's called properties. So you type in props, and then you click on the properties, and this box will pop up. You can dock it. You can keep it off to the side, pull it around a little bit. I want it off there. How do I do that? Way to go, you guys. What did you just do to me? I want it undocked. Now I look like a goof. There you go. It should just undock. There you go. I didn't pull it far enough. I like it to kind of keep it a little bit loose. Dock it if you want. And that's just by grabbing the gray. And when it was docked, just grab the top. Draw your lot. So again, your lot, 50 feet, pull it in one direction. I'm going to turn polar snapping off, turn my ortho back on. 50 feet, you just type in 50 and then hit feet and hit enter. I think, Luke, when you're typing 50 feet, it was because of this. I'm going to type in units right now. When I type in units, your units have to be set to architectural. Yours are probably set to decimal. So when it's architectural, it actually reads feet and inches. It actually reads, this is feet. It's not. Let me see if I can show you. This is feet, that sign there, like that sign. And this is inches. So inches is the quotes, the double quotes. Feet is a single quote. Inches is a double quote. You guys probably know those things. So 125 feet. There we go. So these lines are straight. I can check them out over here. I can click on them because my props box is open. And then I'm going to copy them. So the copy command is right here. I'm going to copy this line. When I select things, I usually window. When you window from right to left, it's a hidden line and it selects everything it touches. When you window from left to right, it only selects what's totally inside of that, not the things that it's touching. I am not holding the button down here. I'm clicking and not holding it down. I'm clicking and just copying it like this. So I'm going to copy this one. Copy command is here. Copy from that endpoint to this endpoint. You should have my O snaps. I'm going to type in O snaps, and then all these snaps pop up. So if you want to snap to something specific, I have it set up to endpoint, midpoint, center, node, intersection, perpendicular, nearest. So the one that I just selected there was endpoint. So when I select the copy command, I'm going to select that line and then go to that endpoint right there and take it to that endpoint right there. This is now your site. I want to change it to this line type here because this is what a property line actually looks like. So you can see in my layers, I know this is really fast, but you can rewind me, slow me down, speed me up, whatever. In the layer properties here, I have a few set up. I have text, dimensions, and the property line itself, and then we'll set up a couple more. I'll show you how to do that. So I want to actually use the property line command to draw these. So I'm going to use this thing over here called match properties. I'm going to take all the properties from this one and put them on here. I can also do this. I could also just select those lines, go up to that down arrow, and change it to the, ooh, look at that. That changed the, that's strange. It doesn't make any sense to me why I would do that. Huh. Super strange. Those are the same line. Silly AutoCAD. So I'll just match those properties to there so it actually reads a little bit better for me. Those are my property lines. If you have side yards, I'm going to offset 4 feet. So offset for this 4 feet and offset this 4 feet inwards. I'm going to offset the front 10 feet because that's about whatever the front yard setback is. The offset command is right here. I was using O for offset. When I usually copy, I use CO as a shortcut, and I just hit CO. So I'm usually a keyboard shortcutter. So I'll do those again for you. I'm just going to hit offset, offset. And it says select the distance you want, 4 feet. Of course, you need the foot command, and then go offset, offset. And then that front yard one is offset 10 feet. Awesome. Whoops. Awesome blossom. So something like that. So these are my setbacks. Whatever your setbacks are, I know everyone's are different. Okay, I gave you a dimension string, so you can just copy this one. Whenever you want to do a dimension, you can just copy it. And if you ever want to do another dimension, you should be able to choose linear up here and go from there to there. And this dimension string should pop up. Okay, a different dimension string popped up this time. Let me show you why. If you want to type in dim style and you want to choose the one, let's see, I have to see which one this is when this first. I'm going to click on it, look at the properties box. It is copy 3 of catalyst. So I'm going to choose that one as my active dim style. So when you get this file, this one might be copy 3 of catalyst. This one, set current, close. This one might be the one that is the default when you get it. There you go. So the cool thing about this is that it's got feet and metric on it. So 125, I think that's 38. And it's 15.24, 15.22 meters wide, whatever. Good enough. Let's make a new layer. I'm going to go here into layer properties, and I want to go right here and make a new layer, and I want to call it 005 other, and I'm going to change the color to gray 8. So right down there, gray number 8, and hit OK. By the time you get this file, all these layers might actually be in there for you. I'm going to draw my parking on the other layer because I don't want to draw it. I want to layer everything that I'm drawing. All right, so we need to go back into the bylaw, and we need to draw this parking angle at 90 degrees. So they are 5.4 meters long, and our dwelling units are 2.5 meters wide. So going to the calculator on your computer, to find your calculator, I just go down here and type in calc, pull up the calculator, and I'm actually going to do this first. I'm going to type in my conversions. So, you can do it on a piece of paper, obviously 5.4 meters. I don't know what that equals, 2.5 meters, and what I think is 7.2 meters. These are the numbers that I think I need. 255472. Good. So I'm going to go in the calculator and find the conversions of these. Hit that arrow there, go on down to length, and I want to do meters, and I want 5.4 equals, not inches, I want to be in feet, 17.72 feet. That equals 17.72 feet. That one is 2.5, 8.20 feet. So this isn't 8 foot 2, it's 8.20. It's a decimal. Now 7.2, 23.62 feet. Okay, so now I've got some conversions there. We can work on those later. 23.62, got it. Close that up. Okay, I'm going to draw this parking lot here first. I'm going to draw those. I'm going to use a couple different commands. So I know the parking lot length, or the length is 5.4 meters. So that's 17.72 feet. Just draw a line like that, and you can see that 17.72 feet. I know that they need to be 2.5 meters apart, so I'm going to go offset with an O, offset with an O, and then type in 8.2 feet. Then offset that, offset that, offset that. Great. I'm not going to draw anymore. As you saw, I drew one line. The rest is offsetting and copying. Okay, I'm going to do something a bit weird here. So I need the 7.2 7.2 meters. So I am going to draw that line 23.62 feet. And then I'm going to mirror these. So mirror, the command is right here. I'm going to mirror this. I use the keyboard shortcut for mirror. And I'm going to select these. See how I went from left to right? Only selects what's inside of it. And then I'm going to mirror that on the center point of that line. So then they mirror over here. And they are exactly 7.2 meters. 23.7 feet apart. So then I'm going to erase this line. E for erase, or the erase command is also right there. I use keyboard shortcut E, and then I'm going to move these things away. So this is the first parking area we're going to draw. Now I'll move them off to the left. Great. I'm probably not going to draw any more parking stalls. Something I like to do is I like to group these. So in SketchUp World, I group a lot of stuff. So I typed in G for group, and now I'm going to group them. And then whenever I move these, or say I copy them, CO for copy. Say I put this parking lot in this piece of property. You can see that it doesn't fit. You can see that it doesn't fit. But the whole thing is a group. It's moving as a group now. Okay, so I want to keep playing with this. So I'm going to ungroup this. I'm going to hit U. I'm going to ungroup and ungroup these things so that now they're just individual lines again. And I'm going to get rid of these. So I only need a couple of these. I probably only need one, actually. We'll see. I don't know. I haven't drawn this. It's taken me a long time. I haven't drawn this in a while. All right. Let's do something fun here too. Well, fun in my world. Let's kind of offset this, maybe, I don't know, 18 inches. And again, I'm just doing this for fun. So I'm going to draw a little car. And the back of the car is going to be here. I'm going to use a stretch command to make that a little bit smaller, make it a foot. Like the stretch command. I'm going to copy this line. I'm just drawing a car in plan. I'm going to stretch it maybe another foot this way. So that's about the size of a car. I'm going to group this so that now it's just, whenever I rotate it and stuff, it always comes together. That's about how big a car is, which will kind of help us with our angles later. So now I'm going to take these and I'm going to rotate. See, these are just individual lines. I'm going to rotate them 45 degrees. So I use the rotate command, which is right here. I used RO for rotate. I'll undo all that. So I'm going to choose rotate, select all the objects, and that says specify, and then I'm going to hit enter, saying I am done with that. Enter is the space bar or the enter key, and then it says specify base point. So I'm going to go from here, and then it says which way do you want to rotate, and I just type in 45 on the keyboard. Now if it goes the wrong way, then type in minus 45, and it'll go the other way. All right, so these are now at 45 degrees, but of course when we park, we don't park like that. We do something a bit different. So I would like to do this. It's a little trick. Now I'm just kind of thinking my way through AutoCAD. I'm going to extend. You are learning so much about AutoCAD right now. I'm going to extend. I don't know where extend is. It's under trim, that's where it is. So I'm going to extend this line to this one. So it says, I'm going to choose that as my finish point, and I'm going to extend this one like that. Now your extend might work a little bit differently than that, but try and get this line to there. Try and get it to extend all the way to here so I know where that is. What's interesting here then is I can't use this line anymore because it's no longer the right length, but this one is. So I can copy this one from here to here, and then I can copy it again. So I can now copy this one from there to there to there, and copy, copy, copy all the way up. I can do the same thing with the cars if I want. I can now copy this car like this. So as you see, this car is, this stall isn't long enough. Its back end is sticking out of the stall. So there's an interesting thing in the bylaw, wherever that went. Interesting thing in the bylaw that says whenever you're at 45 degrees, the aisle width is now 4. We'll get to that. The stall depth is 5, perpendicular to the aisle, but each stall width parallel to the aisle is now 3.54 meters. Here's what that means. So parallel to the aisle is 3.54 meters. Let's use that number here in case we need it. So we're going to 3.54 meters. I don't know what that is. Pull up our calculator. 3.54 is 11.6. Let's do 11.615. Let's get accurate. 11.615 feet. Okay, so that's, as we draw this, that is the stall depth. Stall width parallel to the aisle. So the aisle, in this case here, is this way. This is the aisle, left to right. Well, now the aisle, actually I'm going to rotate this thing back so we're all drawing it the same. There. So the aisle is now going to be the same. So what is this thing parallel to the way we drive, which is in and out in this direction? Hope you can see my cursor. If not, this is torture. I think you can. So it is 3.54. So these stalls are going to get longer. This line is going to get longer. Let me show you how much longer. 11.615 feet. So I need to offset this line here, offset 11.615 feet. What did I do wrong? I'm going to pause the video. I got to figure out what I just did wrong. I see what I've done wrong. That's not what that number means. I actually want this one. Stall depth perpendicular to aisle 5 meters. So I need that number to 5 meters. What's that? That 3.54. We'll figure that one out in a minute. 5 meters. Go back to the calculator. 5 meters is 16.41. Let's call it 16.40, I guess. 16.405 feet is the stall depth. So let's do that. So I'm going to take this line offset 16.405 feet. And that's how long this line will end up becoming. Check this out. I'm going to extend that line. So the extend command is right there, right under the trim. I'm going to pull this line over. These are called grips. You can just pull that line over if you want, and now extend it again. I just use the extend command. I type in EX, and then I hit extend. So this, if I put a dimension on this, we see that this thing here is 5 meters wide, which is that number. And the stall depth, if I do, instead of doing linear, I'll do aligned dimension, aligned, so it's going to align with that. You see that these perpendicular is still 2.5 meters. So let's go back to here. Now I'm doing 45 degrees. Aisle width, okay, stall depth is now 5 meters. So that means that the stall width is actually 3.54. Watch what happened. Watch this. So I'm going to go back to linear. No, not from there. Oh, that's actually interesting. From that endpoint to this endpoint should be that exact number. Look at that, 3.53. So good enough for me. 3.54 meters. So by default, once I rotated it, it actually just became that width. The last thing I need to do here is do my aisle. Do I have 4 meters yet? I haven't done 4 meters. So the aisle width is 4 meters. What is that in American? 13.12. So 13.12 feet. 13.12 feet. So this is the width of my aisle. So what I can do now is I can just take all of these and mirror them, select them, and mirror them on the center point of that aisle width, and that's 4 meters. This is now the size of this parking lot. So I'm going to get rid of, I'll leave those cars there. I'll get rid of, actually no, I'll leave everything. I'll just get rid of that thing there. I'm going to group this, G for group, and then I'm going to move it in place and see if this actually works. See if how this works on my site. It does work. Great. Wonder if I can go wider though. So this is parking 8. You won't need to park 8 cars. So that works on my lot. If your lot's narrower, I wonder if that works for you. Let's try and do this a little bit quicker now. So are these grouped? They are grouped. So I have to copy these again. Ungroup them. I know I've done it like ungrouping, grouping, whatever. That's just the way I'm working. I'm just trying to explain it to you. So now I want to do it a little bit differently. Now I want to do the last one I'll do with you, 60 degrees. I've never done this one before, so let's give it a shot. I don't think 75 would work. So let's try 60-degree angle. Okay, so let's take this. and rotate it 30 degrees. 30 degrees. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to rotate this one 60 degrees this time. I think it's actually what I want. Yeah. Yeah, so as I drive in from the bottom here, I'm going to rotate it back 90 degrees. I'm going to draw it in the same orientation I've always been drawing it. There it is at 90 degrees. So yeah, this is between 90 and 45. So 90 is here, 45 is here. Yeah, this angle is in between that. Could also do it 75 degrees. What if I did this one? There's another option that if I do this like this. Watch this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to rotate. Somehow I'm going to rotate it minus 75 degrees. It'll rotate the other way. So now this is the same stall. No, I think that kind of worked out a little bit goofy. Anyway, I'm working through this. It is what it is. Keep that same width. Same thing. Oops, I didn't link on there. Draw that line. Extend it. Put this stall back there. Actually, I'm going to start everything from scratch because I'm going to use the cars. Oh, shoot. My car is all grouped there. I like to have the car look. I want to keep this car. Erase all this. And I'm going to rotate it back. I think I can rotate this 45 degrees. There it is. We'll just use one of these cars. I'm going to move it into place on. Let's see, I'm going to copy this one again. Ungroup it, U for ungroup. And move this car into place. So I'll move it into the end and then I'll just move it again after. So I think I want to move this over 18, to the left 18, and then down 12. There we go. And I'll copy this a couple times. So I have this car at 90. And then, yeah, it's all good. So now I'm going to rotate this thing. I think I want to rotate it 60 degrees. Yeah, that makes sense. And then I'm going to rotate it back 90, just so I'm drawing in the same perspective that I always was. There we go. I'm drawing it at 90 again. So same thing. Again, just do your best. This isn't an AutoCAD test. I'm just going to extend one of those. I'm going to copy this line to there, and then get rid of this line that I just extended, and then copy it. So I'm going to copy this one over again. Get rid of these cars. And then as you see, the car isn't long enough again, so there's some number in here that'll tell me that. At 60 degrees, the stall depth is 5.49 meters. It's weird that that last one, oh wow, when on an angle, the depth is really long. Stall depth, 5.49 meters. So what's that? 18.01. .01 feet. And now this is how long these will be. Pull that, extend it. Extend. And then copy that car. So you can see that the reason that that distance has to change is that that car will actually fit in these stalls. Otherwise the back end of it will stick out like a big butt. Okay, so there's my cars at 60 degrees. Let's go look at the aisle width. 60, the aisle width is 4.82 meters. .81. 15.81 is the aisle width. Same thing. 15.81 feet, mirror it. I don't know if this will fit or not on a 50-foot lot. Group it, and then move it into place. Let's go see. It's exciting. Oh, it doesn't fit. So a 60 won't fit. So 45 might be the only one that fits. I really don't know. Yeah, it's close. Dang, the aisle width is wider. So the 45 might be the only one. That's it. Just keep drawing like that and do the best you can with it. And then this is now due like a week later. So do your best to try and fit some parking on your lot. There's a bunch of different conversions for you. So you can just take a picture of those if you want or something. But yeah, hopefully that helps a little bit. If there's anything I did in there that you don't know, just fire me up a note in the chat and I'll try and explain it to you. Hopefully that helps. I know it was fast.